Hello and welcome. In the last session, we have seen how to create a product dimension business entity, and we have created by using the product table which we have created in Data Builder, and we have created like different variants, variant one, variant two. So similarly, I have created two other dimensions: sales manager and store. Like similar to product, I have used my store table as a source entity for my store dimension. Similarly, sales manager table, which we created in data builder as a source for my uh, dimension sales manager entity. Okay. So in this session, we are going to see how to create a fact. You can go to business entities. We have two, right? Dimension and fact. We have seen how to create dimension. Now let's see how to create a fact. Either you can come here or you can go into all files. You can create from here or you can create from here also. Fact. Let's click on this. Similarly, we have to give some name. Let's say F sales transaction, and you have to select that entity, source entity. Let's select sales transactions, create. So either you can create from scratch, empty business entity, or you can copy from the source. Select properties. I want to copy, but here it's only copying my key definitions, not attributes and measures. But I'm fine. I'll add them later. Let's create. Okay, now name, fine, data source. I have selected already my entity, sales transaction. This is from business builder. In public data access, I want to allow for public. I don't want any restrictions, authorization things. So I'm going to name it as variant, fine, initial version. See, when you come here, it has already saved automatically. Okay, and here you can see it's a fact. And let's see, let's go to attributes. Because it only copied my key definitions where my transaction ID is the key from in the table. So it has taken same. But attributes and measures, they did not come. Let's add some attributes. Click on this new attribute. And here, like you can, before giving the name, you can select source attribute or calculate attribute. But I want my attribute from source. So select source attributes. It will show you what are all the attributes available in your sales transaction table. So let's select transaction ID and other things I'm fine, uh, and click on save. Okay, now I need to add other attributes, but if I go with this one, it's gonna take some time. So there is some other option. You see this one, add source attributes. Click on that. It will show you all the fields available from the source. So I can directly select these checkboxes: transaction date, store ID, sales manager ID. Revenue is a measure. I'm not selecting this. Profit again a measure. Product ID I can select. Discount, cost. These are the measures. So I'll add them in under the measure, not attributes. Okay, let's select. And there is something called non-selectable entries. If you go this, transaction ID is saying non-selectable because we already added it. That's why it's coming under this. Let's click on apply. So now my attributes are added. Now let's go to measures and add measures also. Let's go to measures. And again, you can see you can add new measure one by one, or you can select all the measures at a time. Cost, discount, profit, revenue. Okay, apply. Again, you can add some other measure like calculated measures, all these things you can add. You can see here some, you can give some business name, and also let's say source. Again, you can select if you have restricted measures, count, calculated all these things. Let's say, for example, source measure, I will select again as, let's say, profit. Aggregation type, you can take it as average, count, min, max. By using that, you can create again, like you want some min, max, count, control, all these things. And let's say I'll again select sum, for example, or let's say sum, and you can select exception aggregation attributes, like based on what attribute you want to do this aggregation. Let's say uh, like store ID or something, and you can give like currency or unit. This is like, let's say we have selected profit, so it's amount with currency. Either you can give constant currency or some field reference. If you have already in the source, you can give the currency column as a reference. Okay. This checkbox, it's a replace null with zero. If you have like null, it will replace with zeros. Let's not do that for now. If you want create, you can create like these things. And yeah, duplicate existing measure. Suppose if you want to duplicate something, you can click this by selecting, let's say, again, it will come to similar like now whatever we, but it has taken from the cost all. Let's go back. Okay, now I added my measures, attributes, and put parameter oscillator, hierarchy oscillator. Associations I want to show you. Since this is my transaction data where I have like store ID, product ID, sales manager ID details. And I also have some dimensions for the store where I have all the store details like store names, store state, and state name, all these things. Similarly, product. For product, I have separate dimension where I have product name, product category name, all these things. And similarly, for sales manager ID, I have separate dimensions where I have extra additional attributes which provides like sales manager name, all these things. So I can associate them so that I'll get the more details for these dimension IDs. So let's click on association plus symbol to add an association. Target business entity. You can select the business entity because we have created some dimensions, right? So let's select product, and this is my target source product entity, and target key mapping. We have to map that to some field, right, in the transaction. So let's map that to product, and it's verifying key mapping validation pending. Key mapping validation, 100% of 29 records find a match in selected target business entity. So it's successful, and you can give some context. Let's say product details for this association. It's just a like you can provide more meaningful description also. Let's say for now, sorry, I copy this, I will paste it as same and save this. Similarly, I'll add two more associations for my store ID and sales manager ID. Let me do that quickly. Okay, I have created other two associations also, like for store, you can go inside and similar to what how we did for product, and also my sales manager details. Okay, and yeah, the other things I don't want anything. Like let's go to data preview and see. So yeah, again, it's similar to product. You can check the data here by applying some filters, simple filters, advanced filters, all these things. And if you want to like analyze, like you can add some fields to perspective or remove fields from perspective. And you can see the attributes are showing in blue color, and whereas measures are in different. Again, you will have different options for the, you can say remove remove from output means they will be available in perspective but will not show in the output. Remove from perspective, you can remove it. You can sort, filter. You can open and see this field details. Okay, all these things, and you can see the association details. Like for example, let's say I want I want to remove from perspective this product ID. Remove from perspective, and I have my cost and discount details. Uh, let's remove these two also from perspective. I will add my profit to perspective. So I can see the profit generated by the sales manager, and I also want to display the name. Let's say text and ID. Okay, but since this is transaction data, I don't have my details, but I associated like text details for this sales manager name and all. But I associated this sales manager ID to my sales manager dimension. So let's see, add all fields, perspective actions, open business entity, all these things. You can expand and see two attributes are there, sales manager ID and sales manager name. I can add this to perspective to see the name of the sales manager. You see, in original transaction data, I don't have the names. We only have product ID, store ID, sales manager ID. Since I associated that transaction data to my dimensions, I can see the text here. So like this, you can add individually, or also let me remove from perspective, and you can see from here also you can add all fields. Let's see what happens. But if I add again, I'm getting sales manager ID and manager name both two times. Let's remove this. Remove from perspective. So like this, we can add all this by using association. We can get more details. For example, let me either you can click on these dots and remove, or you can directly right, you can directly drag and drop back to. Sorry. What we can do. Um, but it is possible. But for now, let me remove from perspective. I will add my store ID. Let's drag this to. Now you can see I was able to drag and drop, but for I'm not sure why earlier it was not coming. But okay, now let's see. For store we have more details. Like you see, we have 8 attributes: country, latitude, longitude, state ID, state name, store city, store name, all these things. Let's add this to, either you can drag and drop like this, or you can right click on it. You can see store ID, store name, and you can also do sorting. See, store one is this like this, and also you can add other store city, like in which city the store is available. So you can do some analysis kind of thing here. Okay, so that's about fact entity creation under the business builder. Okay, let's go back and go to general. I want to make it as ready for use and save this. Let's go back. Now we have created dimension and we have created fact, and we will see how to create fact model in the next session. That's all for now. I hope you understood how to create a dimension and fact and what are the options available inside when we are creating. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next sessions.